Hello and welcome to How is that guy playing a Japanese PS4 game when he pretty clearly isn't Japanese? You may say that he must have modified his system, or he imported a Japanese PS4. The true answer lies just ahead, but first, a quick primer on region locking. Region locking was made to ensure that content would remain localized in specific areas of the world. There's any number of reasons to do this, including censorship or regional IP rights. And video games have been no exception, which Nintendo made sure of as far back as the NES and the Famicom. As the internet grew and brand awareness broadened, people in certain markets began to realize that they were missing out on some incredible titles. System mods were being created by enterprising hackers to bypass these systems, but many game companies would fight just as hard to defeat them. All except Sony. As early back as the PS2, Sony has been, in my opinion at least, comparatively passive about dealing with region locks. The original PS2 needed some pretty severe modifications to allow use of a boot disc that would defeat the software lock, but the PS2 Slim that came out later needed barely more than a plastic bead taped in place to allow a boot disc. Then came the big announcement with the PS3. Although the system itself would be region locked, there would be absolutely no requirement on game developers to do the same, and in fact they were discouraged from doing the same. The result is that only 2 titles that I could find ended up being region locked for the system. Even though it was a selling point for the PS3, they actually haven't spoken out much about it for the PS4, which led a lot of people to wonder if it was still the case. And their labeling hasn't made things any easier to understand. It very clearly says, for Japan only. And you'll see the little region icon there states that it's Region 2. A lot of people online are saying that the system is indeed region locked. And this is the case, which is why I can't use this DVD in the very same system, despite it not having any labeling to say I can't, except for the little Region 2 icon, which I've already demonstrated is also on the game, which does work. However, it is important to note that in addition to region locking, there is also NTSC and PAL, which are not related to region locking. These are differing broadcast standards, most notably between North America and Europe. One simply doesn't work with the other. In short, if there's a game that you want to play, make sure you do your research, but it's very likely that it'll work with no problem. Unless you're in Europe and the game you want to play is in either North America or Japan. Sorry, chaps.